Hello everybody, hope you're all keeping well. For this week's library enrichment, we thought we'd share chapter 1 of this book here, Demigods and Magicians, by Rick Riordan, who wrote the Percy Jackson series. So I thought I'd share chapter 1 with you. I'll put it up on YouTube. You can have a look at it, see if it's the kind of thing that you might like to read. And then if you're interested, let me know and I'll send you a Zoom link and we can chat about it on Wednesday morning. Getting eaten by a giant crocodile was bad enough. The kid with the glowing sword only made my day worse. Maybe I should introduce myself. I'm Carter Kane, part-time high school freshman, part-time magician, full-time worrier about all Egyptian gods and monsters who are constantly trying to kill me. Okay. That last part is an exaggeration. Not all the gods want me dead, just a lot of them. But that kind of goes with the territory, since I'm a magician in the House of Life. We're like the police for ancient Egyptian supernatural forces, making sure they don't cause too much havoc in the modern world. Anyway, on this particular day, I was tracking down a rogue monster on Long Island. Our scryers had been sensing magical disturbances in the area for several weeks. Then the local news started reporting that a large creature had been sighted in the ponds and marshes near the Montauk Highway, a creature that was eating the wildlife and scaring the locals. One reporter even called it the Long Island Swamp Monster. When mortals start raising the alarm, you know it's time to check things out. Normally, my sister Sadie or some of our other initiates from Brooklyn House would have come with me, but they were all at the first Nome in Egypt for a week-long training session on controlling cheese demons. Yes, they're a real thing, believe me. You don't want to know. So I was on my own. I hitched our flying reed boat to Freak, my pet griffin, and we spent the morning buzzing round the south shore looking for signs of trouble. If you're wondering why I didn't just ride on Freak's back, imagine two hummingbird-like wings beating faster and more powerfully than helicopter blades. Unless you want to get shredded, it's really better to ride in the boat. Freak had a pretty good nose for magic. After a couple of hours on patrol, he shrieked, "Freak!" and banked hard to the left, circling over a green, marshy inlet between two neighbourhoods. "Down there?" I asked. Freak shivered and squawked, whipping his barbed tail nervously. I couldn't see much below us, just a brown river glittering in the hot summer air, winding through swamp grass and clumps of gnarled trees until it emptied into Mauritius Bay. The area looked a bit like the Nile Delta back in Egypt, except here the wetlands were surrounded on both sides by residential neighbourhoods with row after row of grey-roofed houses. Just to the north, a line of cars inched along the Montauk Highway, vacationers escaping the crowds in the city to enjoy the crowds in the Hamptons. If there really was a carnivorous swamp monster below us, I wondered how long it would be before it developed a taste for humans. If that happened, well, it was surrounded by an all-you-can-eat buffet. "Okay," I told Freak, "set me down by the riverbank." As soon as I stepped out of the boat, Freak screeched and zoomed into the sky, the boat trailing behind him. "Hey!" I yelled after him, but it was too late. Freak is easily spooked. Flesh-eating monsters tend to scare him away, so do fireworks, clowns, and the smell of Sadie's weird British Ribena drink. Can't blame him on that last one. Sadie grew up in London and developed some pretty strange tastes. I would have to take care of this monster problem, then whistle for Freak to pick me up once I was done. I opened my backpack and checked my supplies. Some enchanted rope, my curved ivory wand, a lump of wax for making a magical Shabti figurine, my calligraphy set, and the healing potion my friend Jazz had brewed for me a while back. She knew that I got hurt a lot. There was just one more thing I needed. I concentrated and reached into the duet. Over the last few months, I'd got better at storing emergency provisions in the shadow realm. Extra weapons, clean clothes, fruit by the foot, and chilled 6 packs of root beer. But sticking my hand into a magical dimension still felt weird, like pushing through layers of cold, heavy curtains. I closed my fingers round the hilt of my sword and pulled it out, a weighty koppesh with a blade curved like a question mark. Armed with my sword and wand, I was all set for a stroll through the swamp to look for a hungry monster. Oh joy! I waded into the water and immediately sank to my knees. The river bottom felt like congealed stew. With every step, my shoes made such rude noises, suck plop, that I was glad Sadie wasn't with me. She would never have stopped laughing. Even worse, making this much noise, I knew I wouldn't be able to sneak up on any monsters. Mosquitoes swarmed me. Suddenly I felt nervous and alone. Could be worse, I told myself. I could be studying cheese demons. But I couldn't quite convince myself. In a nearby neighbourhood, I heard kids shouting and laughing, probably playing some kind of game. I wondered what that would be like, being a normal kid, hanging out with my friends on a summer afternoon. The idea was so nice I got distracted. I didn't notice the ripples in the water until 50 yards ahead of me something broke the surface, a line of leathery blackish green bumps. Instantly it submerged again, but I knew what I was dealing with now. I'd seen crocodiles before, and this was a freakishly big one. I remembered El Paso the winter before last, when my sister and I had been attacked by the crocodile god Sobek. That wasn't a good memory. Sweat trickled down my neck. Sobek, I murmured, if that's you messing with me again, I swear to Ra. The croc god had promised to leave us alone, now that we were tight with his boss, the sun god. Still, crocodiles get hungry. Then they tend to forget their promises. No answer from the water. The ripples subsided. When it came to sensing monsters, my magic instincts weren't very sharp, but the water in front of me seemed much darker. That meant either it was deep or something large was lurking under the surface. I almost hoped it was Sobek. At least then I stood a chance of talking to him before he killed me. Sobek loved to boast. Unfortunately, it wasn't him. The next microsecond, as the water erupted around me, I realised too late that I should have brought the entire 21st gnome to help me. I registered glowing yellow eyes as big as my head, the glint of gold jewellery round the massive neck. Then monstrous jaws opened, ridges of crooked teeth, and an expanse of pink maw wide enough to gulp down a garbage truck. And the creature swallowed me whole. If you join us on Wednesday in the library, we'll find out what happens next. Check on Show My Homework, look for the library enrichment announcement, drop me an email and I'll send you a Zoom invitation. Take care, hopefully see you there. Bye bye.